Welcome back to The Pivotal Point with Dwayne Barnes, and I'm your host, Dwayne Barnes. And as always, this is not just a podcast. This is a liberation space. A space where we reclaim what life and trauma and survival tried to steal from us. Our truth, our worth, our wholeness. And today we're talking about something that most of us live with every single day, but rarely name. What it feels like when your needs are not being met. Because here's the truth. Many of us walk around thinking something's wrong with us. But what's actually happening is that our needs are screaming for attention. When you feel anxious and frustrated, disconnected, exhausted, or empty, it's not random. It's not weakness. It's your system trying to tell you, I need something. And I've been ignored for too long. This episode is about helping you recognize the signals, because you can't heal what you will not name. And every one of these feelings can be a doorway into your healing. Okay? You can't feel what you will not name. Let's get into it. Okay, let's go deeper, because our emotions aren't random. I used to think that my emotions were just random, that I was just going to be suffering for the rest of my life trying to just stop these random emotions from showing up, until I realized that they're not weakness and they're not random. They're your soul trying to get your attention. You see, when your needs are being met, you feel grounded, you feel connected, you feel safe. But when your needs go unmet, when they're ignored or suppressed or violated, your body and your mind and your emotions, they just start waving red flags. And let's talk about how it often shows up. It shows up in fear. Number one, fear, afraid. And this is one that I powerfully lived under. You feel anxious, worried, or panicked. Your chest gets tight, your hands get clammy, your mind races, sleep escapes you. But what I discovered is that underneath that fear, often it's your need for safety, stability, and security not being met. You don't feel protected emotionally, financially, or physically. And when you've been hurt before, your nervous system just stays on alert. You start expecting something bad to happen, even when things seem fine. And that's not just because you're paranoid. That is unhealed protection mode. And I have suffered with freeway anxiety for quite some time because of this. And thankfully, that is beginning to loosen now that I am making such deep dives. So that's the number one. Number one is you feel afraid. Number two, annoyed and frustrated. You feel irritated, short-tempered, easily triggered. Little things set you off. Underneath, often your need for respect, fairness, or being heard isn't being met. And this is another one that I have lived under. You may feel, I'm always bending, I'm always giving, but no one hears me. I'm tired of carrying it all. And frustration just builds because you feel like your limits are invisible to others. And so number 2, you feel annoyed and frustrated. And then there's anger, angry. Number 3, you feel furious, livid, ready to explode. Here's where many of us get misunderstood, because anger isn't bad. Anger is your inner protector. Anger says, I matter and you're treating me like I don't. Often you're dealing with your need to be valued, respected, and honored being violated. And this violation isn't always physical. It's when someone dismisses your feelings, or they talk over you, or minimize your voice. They cross your boundaries like they don't exist. They take your love, your labor, or your loyalty for granted. They make you feel replaceable, like your presence holds no weight. And that violation cuts deep because at its core, you're being told you don't matter enough to be protected. And then the anger rises to say, no more. Number 4, disconnected. You feel numb, emotionally shut down. Not sad, not angry, just flat. And this usually points to unmet needs for connection, intimacy, and belonging. You're just tired of not being met where you are. So you pull away because being distant feels safer than being let down again. You know, you may say, if I don't expect anything, I won't get hurt. But deep down, your heart is still craving closeness, connection. Number 5, confused and lost. I feel confused and lost. You feel stuck, unsure, mentally spinning. You start to question your own decisions. You feel torn between what you feel and what others expect. Often this shows unmet needs for clarity, honesty, and trustworthy guidance. You've been gaslit. You've been told your feelings were wrong. You don't trust your instincts anymore, and you're scared to choose the wrong thing. So you're confused and you're lost. And this confusion is often not just because you're indecisive. It's because you've been trained to doubt your own truth. Number 6, I feel tired and fatigued. You feel exhausted or burnt out, worn thin. And it's not just lack of sleep, it's emotional exhaustion. You've been carrying too much for too long for too many. And underneath, you need rest, support, boundaries, and help. You need help. You've been the strong one, the fixer, the provider, the one who holds it all together. But your soul is waving a white flag saying, I need to be poured into too. Number 7, sadness and hopeless. You feel empty. You feel empty. You feel heavy-hearted. The joy feels distant. The future feels blurry. And this often reveals an unmet need for purpose, meaning, connection, and love. You may feel, what am I even doing this for? Who really sees me anyway? You see, when we lose sight of purpose, even small disappointments feel massive. Without meaning, life starts to feel like survival, not living. Number 8, vulnerable and insecure. You feel fragile, guarded, emotionally on edge. That means you're craving acceptance or reassurance, emotional safety, but you're scared to ask for it. Maybe you've been abandoned before. Maybe your trust has been broken. Now your heart says, if I open up again, will I survive if they drop me? Vulnerability often means you need safe spaces to land. Not criticism, not correction, but compassion. Number 9, you feel a deep ache, a longing, a pull towards something you can't even quite touch. You're craving joy. You're craving freedom, you're craving love, you're craving the need for belonging, the need for fulfillment, and it all feels out of reach. And sometimes you're grieving what you never had. Sometimes you're just chasing a glimpse of what once was. That ache is your soul reminding you. You are designed for more than survival. You are wired for wholeness. You see, you're not crazy. I want to make this plain and clear. You're not broken. You're not too sensitive, as I've always been told I was. Not. You're needing. And needing isn't a flaw. It's a signal. The work is not to suppress these emotions. No, the work is to listen to them. Because every emotion is carrying a message about what your soul is hungry for. I'm going to repeat that. Every emotion is carrying a message about what your soul is hungry for. So here's your pivotal point. If you've been living in frustration, anxiety, burnout, or sadness, it's not because you're failing. It's because you have needs that haven't been fully seen, honored, or cared for. So self-awareness is your first tool. Honest communication is your next step. Compassion for yourself is the path home. Because you don't heal by pretending that you're fine, y'all. You don't. You heal by finally honoring what you feel. So listen to me. You don't need to hold it all together anymore. You don't need to keep guessing why you feel the way you feel. The very fact that you're listening to this right now means you've already awakened to your truth. Your emotions aren't here to punish you. They're here to guide you. And if you've been sitting in these heavy feelings for too long, if you're tired of carrying this weight alone, let's do this work together. Through my one-on-one freedom coaching, I walk with people like you into this exact space, identifying what your emotions are really telling you, naming your true unmet needs, reclaiming your peace, your voice, and your freedom. Because your healing isn't impossible. It's already calling you. So if you're ready to go deeper, visit authordwaynebarnes.com and book your private freedom coaching session with me. And I offer sliding scales. It's not about the money, it's about the freedom. I'm Dwayne Barnes, and this is The Pivotal Point with Dwayne Barnes. Until next time, stay loyal to your soul, stay rooted in your truth, and never, ever, ever forget what you feel is valid and what you need is sacred.